everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gwen, and today it's going to be a vlog. I wanted to do a reading vlog based on 24 hours, so I'm going to be timing myself every time I decide to pick up a book and read. So that means, no, it's not going to happen within 24 hours. I am going to clock every time I start reading, and every hour it will reduce the amount all the way to 0, and that will be the entirety of this vlog. So I'm trying to see how much I will read in 24 hours, how many books I'm going to actually complete, and what things I'll pick up. I have a lot of things that I'm reading this month in general that I want to continue either reading in the series, or I have series going on that I have to keep up with. So I know we're going to be reading those. I will not be documenting, however, the process of me reading House of Chains, because House of Chains is going to have its own vlog by the end of the month. So I will be counting the hours that I read towards that book, but y'all aren't going to be hearing my thoughts on it. It will be in the other vlog. So the only thing I do know is I'm going to be reading the book We Ride the Storm by Devin Madsen. I've already started it. I'm about 100 pages in, and I'm doing a audio/physical read with this book. And the audiobook I think is like 16 to 17 hours long, but I do put it at 1.5 to 1.7 speed. So it's going to be a little bit under that, but we'll see how much of another book I can read during the time frame of trying to finish this one. So I will see you guys when I have an update. I have to do this update very quickly because my battery is losing juice, but this is where I currently am for hours. We're at hour 8, almost exactly. I just finished We Ride the Storm by Devin Madsen and had a fantastic time. I wish I had picked this up sooner. It's a great entry, a great first start to a series, and I'm definitely going to be finishing this series, or at least going to book 2. I forgot to mention what the story was about, but we're following 3 characters. One is Cassandra, who's an assassin, another one is Miko, who's a princess, and Ra, who is the captain of a group of warriors that are exiled. It is a lot of politics, and it's also a lot of movement. The plot is fast. There are a lot of characters who I seemingly forgot some of their roles because there's so many people on the political side of Miko's story, whereas Cassandra and Ra were a lot more easier to follow because there's less people you had to talk to, whereas with Miko, she was talking to a bajillion people. Certain people stood out for me, but then there would be secondary characters in that last half of the book that I was like, who are you again? Why are we talking to you? That's the only time really I got confused, but I was fully in it by like 100 pages. I loved Cassandra and Ra's roles the most. I didn't love Miko all the time. Sometimes her chapters just felt too heavy-handed, like there's too much information coming from them and they needed to be split apart a little bit more, but I was really excited by the end of the book and what happened, and it's all about conquest, baby. This is what this world is about. If you do not thrive on getting power, you will not survive in this world. That's what I learned. So I'm unsure what book I'm going to pick up next. My plan was House of Suns. I don't have a physical copy yet, but I do think I can get the audiobook and then start with that. And then my other thought is to jump on a horror book as well. So this is 8 hours into the 24 hours. Let's see what happens next. I've just been super obsessed with the Artemis II since its conclusive end that I haven't been thinking about much else. So this is a check-in for my 24-hour vlog, and I am so sorry. The last few days I've been really busy, but I do have an update now. Yesterday I went full throttle in finishing House of Suns by Alistair Reynolds, and this was such a fantastic sci-fi book. It had me absolutely captivated. I loved the story. I loved the timeline difference we got between the stories. We had intergalactic travel like I've never read before. I just fell in love with these characters that I wish this wasn't a standalone book. I wish there was more about this version of space, but unfortunately there isn't. This was a great pick from the Sci-Fi Critters Club. Again, if you want to join us, it is linked down below. This is our book of the month, and I highly recommend reading it. It is so good. Now, like I said before, I've been kind of obsessed with Artemis II and NASA and like all the stuff that's been happening with that. So I've been crying on and off for the last 48 hours. It's been great. I was crying a bit when they like landed in the ocean, and then I have just been crying ever since because people posting afterwards their feelings and thoughts have just been so sweet and so kind. I think the thing that I love about this, because I'm not very smart when it comes to space stuff, but what I love about it is people being intellectual, being smart, doing their thing, and also it's seeing humans advance technology, advance our knowledge. Like, it's visual progress on what people on this planet are working towards. And it's so cool. I'm amazed by the 4 astronauts that went into space. That crew was incredible. The massive crew that was on the planet following along all 10 days and guiding them and making sure everything was okay with them. Like, everyone who was a part of this, whether you built the ship, whether you built the like engines, the technology, the interfaces, the suits, everybody who interacted with this mission and will continue to interact, because this isn't the last we'll see of this Artemis mission. There's like 8 stages, I think, of them. Maybe it's 7. But the final thing is to have a station on the moon that scientists then work on. Isn't that cool? I'm so glad NASA is on their shit again. Unfortunately, there's a lot of governmental issues and funding, but I'm going to try to stay with the highlights. Sorry, I just had to talk about the thing that I've been obsessing over for 48 hours. But when it comes to House of Suns, I am going to be doing a review on it. But needless to say, I think you should read it if you love sci-fi and you just want a single book. This is a 500-page book, I think. The audio was 18-ish hours. God, the last few chapters, I was gripped. I was hoping to God that we would get some closure on a couple of things. All of the closure happened in the last chapter, but it made me feel more alert to what was happening. Again, I'll talk about it more in my review about it thoroughly, but this was definitely one that I probably won't forget about this book for a while, and I definitely need to go buy it so I can have it on my shelf as proof that I love the book and I own it. I basically have 4 hours left in this vlog that I have to read. I currently need to read both Berserk and Vagabond so that I have video reviews for this week to post. So I'm going to do that now, and then we'll see how many hours I have left. I think normally manga doesn't take me that long to read. Berserk does take me longer than Vagabond. I have learned that, but I think it's because Berserk just has more story and plot put into each chapter versus Vagabond is very much like a vibe, which is fine by me. I actually really like the pace of Vagabond. It feels like you're getting somewhere because the chapters are short, but then nothing happens, so it's just like moody. I don't know how else to describe it, but that's how Vagabond feels to me. I'm gonna guess this won't get me to 24 hours though. So I think at the end I will be starting to read House of Chains, which again, my thoughts and opinions on all of that stuff will be in that other vlog at the end of the month, but at least I will have read parts of it in here. So let me get to reading. I've yapped long enough. I need to go back into these books again now. I just finished filming all of my short vids for the week, which I am posting a lot this week, which is wild. But let's talk about, I might need to do a different angle. Let's talk about thoughts and feelings on Berserk and Vagabond. Okay, that's better. Vagabond Volume 4 is done. That was really, really fun. I actually really liked what was happening here. We got some smaller stories coming up into Musashi's story, so I'm excited to see all of these characters again. I'm also excited he now has a kid trailing after him that wants to be a samurai, so I'm hoping the kid brings a little bit, not just humor, because actually a lot of the other secondary characters bring a lot of humor, but I hope he brings some honesty to Musashi and some understanding of like perspective. So yeah, and Musashi has moved on to Nara to get better sword practice with a group of monks that uses poles to hit instead of swords. So we'll see how that goes. He does have someone trailing him who wants to kill him now, so that should be fun. And then Berserk Volume 11. Let's just say I have been told in many a comment section that people are waiting for my reaction. I think it's Volume 13. It might be Volume 12, but I'm pretty sure it's Volume 13. So I'm anticipating something big happening in that one. Volume 11 focuses on the follow-up to getting Griffith out of the city and the palace from the dungeons, and the crew that tries to kill off Griffith as well as kill off the rest of the Hawks. Volume 11 focuses a lot more on battles and fighting and physical fighting than anything else. So there's not much plot that really happens. The only thing that kind of dropped in was, do I put this in? But basically there was something added about Griffith and his past and why he is part of this group of dark figures that seemingly monsters and demons are really into in this world. So I am becoming nervous because I have fallen in love with a lot of members in the Hawks group, and so I'm just hoping not terrible things happen, but I have a feeling everyone's going to die but Guts. That's my theory. Well, and Griffith technically, but I don't really care about Griffith as much as the rest of the group, so. Girl, this is a Sunday. Why is there trucks running like this down our street? Okay, so as of right now, I'm at 21 hours and 5 minutes. So that's pretty damn good. I just need to read 3 more hours, which isn't that hard. So I need to eat lunch though, right now. I don't know if I'm gonna read the rest of the day to finish up this or not. I honestly should, because I haven't read any House of Chains in the last week, or the last 5 days, I should say. So reading House of Chains might be the smartest move, but we'll see. If I don't see you guys today, I'll definitely see you tomorrow to wrap up this vlog. Here we are. I've officially read 24 hours, and it felt like it was easy at some times, and other times it felt like a chore. But this is what I read, plus 1 more book, which is wild. I will say I only read 1 volume in each of the manga books, but still, this is pretty awesome. So I did finish the last 2 hours with House of Chains by Steven Erikson for my reread challenge, and it went pretty well. I got to over page 200 finally, but I'm in the middle of a chapter, so I am probably going to finish up the chapter today. We'll see if I finish part 2 by the middle of this week. That's kind of my goal, and I'll just let you know that I am enjoying part 2 more than I did part 1 in this book. So overall, I think this vlog was a success, reading exactly 24 hours and seeing how much I could read within. I did read everything that I wanted to get to. I read both of the mangas that I wanted to read, Vagabond Volume 4 and Berserk Volume 11, and then I finished 2 novels that were longer than 500 pages, which is We Ride the Storm and House of Suns. And honestly, everything was pretty damn good. I really enjoyed a lot what was going on. I will say for Berserk, I am very fearful for the future, but overall, I really enjoyed everything I read for these 24 hours. I probably will do this style of vlog again in the future because it was easy to do and it was really fun to just see how much you can read in 24 hours. I am really proud of myself. I don't know, I just feel like I read more than I actually thought I could. So that's really nice. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Let me know if any of these books interested you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!